Youth empowerment, federal government trains 4,000 graduates in agricultural mechanization. Osun election, state government sets up commission of inquiry as INEC distributes sensitive materials. A pleasant good evening to you and welcome to the 7 p.m. news coming to you from your heritage station. I am Fatima Hassan. Thank you for joining us tonight. The federal government has trained 4,000 graduates in agricultural machinery and mechanization. The training was conducted under the National Agricultural Development Fund, with beneficiaries selected from all 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Musa Baba Aliyu has more.
Tractors and other heavy-duty agricultural equipment are like ordinary vehicles. They require regular maintenance and repairs. As Nigeria advances towards full agricultural mechanization through widespread deployment of machines, the federal government is training young Nigerians to handle the operation, repairs and maintenance of this heavy-duty equipment. Here are some of the youths trained by the Nigerian Agricultural Development Fund. They were camped for an intensive 10-day program focused on agricultural mechanization. The program is designed to build a pool of certified operators and mechanics who will drive Nigeria's agricultural mechanization agenda and support national food security goals.
We realize that investment in material assets, in inputs, can only go so far. We need investment in human capital development so as to sustain those investments in the agricultural value chain in order to achieve the increased productivity that will drive food security.
The Executive Secretary of the Agricultural Development Fund urged the participants to value and apply the strategic knowledge they have acquired so that they can help meet the country's mechanization manpower needs and advance the economic interests of the society. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government says it is not grabbing land for livestock development, but pursuing a transformative model that respects Nigerians' diversity while unlocking the sector's economic potential. The Minister of Livestock Development, Ide Mukhtar, disclosed this while briefing the media on strategies for advancing the renewed Hope Livestock Transformation Drive. It says the model brings together the federal and state government with the private sector to mobilize coordinated investment and unlock opportunities across livestock value chain. Yusuf Jika has the details.
Nigeria's livestock sector remains an economic cornerstone, contributing significantly to GDP while providing livelihoods for thousands across the country. To replace the industry on a stronger growth path, the Minister of Livestock Development, Ide Mukhtar Maiha, says the ministry has adopted a federal state-private sector model, ensuring every value chain gets the attention and investment needed to thrive.
FMLD will not develop every species in every location in the country. States, on the other hand, require national technical, regulatory, financial, and market support. The answer, therefore, is a disciplined state, federal, private sector partnership that will drive the desired transformation.
The minister says this tripartite approach can strengthen Nigeria's food and nutrition sovereignty, create wealth for women and youth, transform rural economies, reduce waste, support peace, and ultimately drive shared prosperity. In Abuja, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Democracy remains the best form of government and citizens must continue to deepen the process. This was the focus at a roundtable on the 2027 general elections convened by the Humanitarian Foundation for Social Justice and the Create Studio Nigeria, a civil society organization held in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
This roundtable on the 2027 general election offers a critical engagement to share commitment to the consolidation of the nation's democracy. With the theme Reclaiming Our Vote, participants cut across the youth demography.
On Nigeria's democratic journey. An informed citizenry is indispensable to a healthy democracy, and this meeting seeks to further strengthen the culture of informed engagement.
The National Orientation Agency and other partners believe that the ultimate purpose of democracy is to achieve development, and elections must be free, fair, transparent, and credible in compliance with the Electoral Act and the Constitution.
As we look forward towards 2027 general elections, our collective responsibility is to make voting meaningful and credible. We must move from a culture of electoral participation as an occasional activity to citizenship as a continuous responsibility.
We must do two things: reclaim our votes from the forces of apathy and obstruction, and enfranchise a new generation that is ready to lead.
The Ukraine Studio Nigeria platform was unveiled as part of the roundtable to further engage the citizens, with the emphasis that democracy flourishes when citizens are rightfully informed. Timothy Yusuf.
Meanwhile, INEC has commenced the distribution of sensitive election materials to the 30 local government areas of Osun State ahead of Saturday's governorship election. Mayor Ogidi monitored the exercise in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, and now report.
Osun State governorship election now in hours, not in weeks. It is quite a sensitive moment, and it is also that time to distribute sensitive election materials to the 30 local government areas, as 15 political parties set for 15th of August 2026 contest. In moments like this, no night, no day, work non-stop to beat deadline. It's 10 p.m. Thursday, August 13th. Party agents, INEC officials, journalists, and election observers have single mission here: to get the sensitive election materials at the CBN Osogbo office. Items received back to INEC State office to ensure everything is okay. Yes, all complete, as the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner Luatoyin Babalola and party agents sign in affirmation.
We're particularly worried, after the court pronouncement, which led to, the logistical challenge that require INEC to go back to start printing, ballot papers at the same time result sheets. We felt that it would affect this election, probably call for maybe postponement, but it's a good thing that the materials arrived.
What's important to us is that the materials are here and they are sealed. And so we do not want to say that some other persons have any access to any other thing that we don't have.
Our situation so far, I can say that we are here and we saw the arrival of the materials and distribution of these materials into various local government of the state.
Verification done, movement commences to the local government areas ahead of Saturday contest. In Osogbo, Mayor Ogidi, Nta News.
In the meantime, Governor Ademola Adeleke has announced plans to constitute an independent commission of inquiry immediately after the Osun State governorship election to investigate reported killings and other acts of violence connected with the election. Governor Adeleke disclosed this at a press briefing held at the government house in Osogbo, the Osun State capital. Kayode Oladosho has more.
Addressing journalists on behalf of Governor Ademola Adeleke, the Commissioner for Information, Kolapo Alimi, said the Osun State government is concerned about the recent attacks on lives and property recorded across the state over the past 3 months. He said the development warrants a thorough inquiry to ascertain the circumstances surrounding the incidents.
Immediately after the election, an independent commission of inquiry will be constituted to investigate all reported killings and acts of violence connected with this election period.
The governor stated that the commission's mode of operation will be based on findings and circumstances surrounding all the election-related violence across the state.
The commission will establish the circumstances surrounding these incidents and recommend appropriate actions to ensure that everyone responsible is brought to justice.
Government, he said, will also establish a framework to support and compensate affected families in honor of the memories of the victims. In Osogbo, Kayode Oladosho, NTA News.
Who We'll be right back after the commercial break. Please stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Sons and daughters of Leguru have converged on the Dipodino Stadium in Ijebu Ode for the 2026 Nta Ijebu Leguru Festival. The annual celebration, which promotes the rich cultural heritage of the people, featured the installation of 3 new chiefs, presentation of awards, and colorful cultural displays. Correspondence was part of the historic moment and now report. It was a colorful display of culture and tradition as sons and daughters of Leguru from within and outside the community gathered for the 2026 Nta Ijebu Leguru Festival. The festival will celebrate the cultural identity and heritage of Leguru, featured traditional performances, the installation of 3 new chiefs, and presentation of awards to distinguished members of the community. According to Ijebu oral tradition, Leguru is one of the historic communities in Ijebu land, with its traditional institutions serving as custodians of the people's culture and values. His Spiritual Majesty Adedbero Tajuddin Bello, the Nta Ijebu Leguru Elu of Ijebu land, Fesogbade First, described the festival as significant to the community and Ijebu land, calling for continued preservation of the community's cultural heritage.
Eleguru is supposed to be celebrated. It's a Messiah that we all need to be. If the Christian can remember Jesus Christ, Ijebu people should appreciate Nta Ijebu Leguru as well.
The Oba Leguru of Ijebu land, Ronsowo Olugbenga, and others highlighted the importance of the festival in promoting unity, cultural preservation, and community development.
This festival is very important as a culture in Ijebu land, which we always put in place every blessed year. And we pray for the whole Ijebu land, the whole Ogun State, and the whole Nigeria as a way, that more progress should be going on. And
for the past 9 years now, Leguru have been organizing it with special award and scholarship to the children and empowerment for non-privileged citizens of Ijebu.
The wife of the Leguru, Morenikeji Bello, while speaking on the significance of the celebration, emphasized the need to sustain the values and traditions of Leguru.
It's particularly about the culture and tradition. There are some things our new generations are not familiar with, so it's bringing them back to life. That is why we are doing this.
With its blend of tradition, recognition, and cultural expression, the 2026 Nta Ijebu Leguru Festival provided an opportunity for the people to reconnect with their roots and strengthen community bonds, as well as connecting to their ancestral heritage. Plastic bottles are increasingly becoming a common feature of the waste stream in Nigeria's urban centers. But in Abeokuta, Ogun State, discarded plastic bottles are taking on a new value, providing opportunities for livelihood, enterprise, and environmental sustainability. From waste pickers who recover the bottles to aggregators who sort and package them, and recyclers who process them into reusable materials, a growing value chain is emerging around plastic waste, with government agencies also playing a role in regulating the sector. Lekon Adbonde has the details.
The journey of a discarded plastic bottle can begin in a gutter, roadside, or household waste bin, contributing to blocked drainage, flooding, and pollution. But recovered for recycling, the same bottle takes a different path. Waste pickers collect PET bottles from streets, homes, markets, and businesses. For many, including Usman Anifowoshe. It is both environmental service and livelihood.
Carrying sack to be speaking, to be packing, plastic, iron, when I see on the road, I will pack them. I go and sell it to make money. 1 kilo, 300. I'm making 5,000, 4,000 in a day.
Because the condition for Nigeria now, many people, this business, a fish shopper, because people just go outside, if you take for ground, if you clean, the way environmental way if you do, this people now if you do now.
At recycling facilities, the plastics are processed into flakes and other reusable materials for new products, packaging, fiber, and industrial applications. Beyond income generation, recycling removes plastic waste from streets, waterways, and drainage channels, helping to reduce pollution and pressure on waste management system.
Our peoples engage in a lot of burnings of plastics. It results into obnoxious gases into the environment, which have a severe consequences on the environment. But with the recycling operators, that one has drastically reduced, and they have made a lot of impact.
Across the metropolis, plastic bottles does not have to end in a gutter or landfill. From consumer to waste picker and recycler, it can return to the economy as a valuable resource. The challenge is to strengthen the chain, because when the right systems, technology, and people come together, waste becomes wealth, communities become cleaner, industries gain raw materials, and recycling creates sustainable livelihoods. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
And that completes our English news for this week. Join us next week for more interesting stories. Have a wonderful night rest. Bye.